G'day legends, how you going? It's James here from E3 Fitness, and I need to start this video off by apologising. It deeply pains me that last week I put out a deadlift video and I was claiming that I was deadlifting a lot of weight, as you should be when you're deadlifting, and I simply wasn't. And for that, I apologise to you, the faithful E3 viewers, for my disgusting, disgraceful actions. Moving on. What I can promise you, I may not have been able to deadlift that much weight on the video, but what I can promise you is I do know how to deadlift, and I do know how to give you some fundamental tips to ensure when you go in to do your deadlift, you're doing them proper, you're getting the form right, and you're absolutely killing it to get the glute benefits, to get the hamstring benefits, to get the lower back benefits, to get the upper body benefits, to get the core benefits, all the benefits involved in doing the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful movement, my favorite movement, the deadlift. So the deadlift is basically broken down into a few key movements, and essentially what it is at its fundamental is a hip hinge. Now what a hip hinge is what you're seeing right here. And what does a hip hinge use? It uses your glutes and it uses your hamstrings and your lower back for a little bit of support as well. So if you're not quite comfortable with a hip hinge as a movement, you need to get comfortable, and you need to be doing a few sets of these movements, which I'm showing you here, to ensure that you become a little bit more comfortable with the hip hinge. So second of all, the deadlift involves the knee bend and the stance. Now what I suggest with the stance is to be as square as possible, and I like to keep my feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Essentially all your legs are doing, all they are doing is a squat. Think about it as a squat. Think about all you're doing is once you bend your hips, once you hinge through your hips, all you need to do is bend your knees. The only thing if you are hip hinging properly, your weight is going to be on your heels, and all you'll need to do is bend your knees accordingly. So let's take it back a few steps. You've got your hip hinge, you know that you need to bend your knees, but when are they in order? What sort of order do I need to be doing it in, James? Well, here's a good way to think of it. You really need to stick the booty back. That is the first and primary thing for you to do. Stick that booty back and keep pushing it back. Too many people stick the booty back, but they don't keep pushing. So you need to sit back. And I tell some of the students that I work with at a number of the schools around Brisbane that you're trying to sit on the toilet. So when you go to sit back on the toilet, you really need to push your bum back, and if you don't keep pushing your bum back, you're going to miss the toilet. So think that you're trying to sit on the toilet or trying to sit on a chair, and you don't want to miss the toilet or the chair. So hip hinge back and really, really keep pushing your hips back as you're bending your knees. Now, what are the knees doing? What are they doing? As you're bending your knees, you don't want them to go out or you don't want them to come in. You want them to stay in a nice clean line over your toes. The final thing, what is your upper body doing? Well, there is a number of different trains of thoughts of what your upper body is doing, particularly to your neck. I won't dive into that detail right now. All I want you to do is to ensure that your lower back and your spine in general is in a straight line. And you essentially want to be a little bit sort of between 90 and 45 degrees. You don't want to be 45, it's probably a touch too high. And you don't want to be 90, it's a touch too low. You sort of want to be in between that range there to ensure that you're activating your lower back enough, and also to ensure that you're completing the hip hinge enough. If you're too tall, it's pretty much a squat, so why are you deadlifting? And if you're too flat, you're probably not hinging through your hips and bending through your knees enough. Okay, so that's as much as we can get into detail here through a video format, but I hope those things have helped. Key things, get good at the hip hinge. Key things, keep a nice flat back. Key things, bend those knees and keep them in line with your toes. It's been James here from E3 Fitness saying stay proud, keep deadlifting, and enjoy today, because today is an absolutely beautiful day. Peace.
Hey, I was doing just fine before I met you. I drink too much and that's an issue, but I'm okay.